Hello, welcome to this last class in which we are using the Spotlight on Literature D. And the topic for today's lesson is homophones and homographs. We're gonna go over this interesting topic. And I just wanna start saying that the main category where these subcategories come from is homonyms. So we have the homonyms, and this is like the big picture. Then we have the two sub categories named homophones and homographs. So according to your books, this information can be found on page 50 in your books. In Learn the Concept says that exploring the sound and spelling of words through clever play, homophones and homograph have been long employed by writers to present ideas in a humorous or more satirical way. How can you tell the difference between a homograph and a homophone? This is a very good question. You have to take a look to the, the etymology of the word. It comes from the Greek homos, that means the same, and phone, that means sound. So in other words, we're saying that they share the same sound. So that's why we have the concept is a word, well, the concept of homophones, of course, is a word that sounds the same as another word, but has a different spelling and meaning. What happens to the words when they are homophones? They have exactly the same pronunciation and intonation as well, but they differ in writing, spelling, and also what they mean. So for example, the word flower, for example, is pronounced the same way as the word flower. We have the flower, 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 flower. If you pay attention, if you notice, the pronunciation is the same, but the difference is the spelling and the meaning as well. We have more examples of homophones. Remember that all of these words are pronounced exactly the same way. C and C. And you have the definitions here, so you can see how different one word is from the other one. Pair, 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 night, 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 night. So this gate right here is silent. Then great and great. So then we have the other subcategory, that is homographs. A homograph is a word that, regardless of its pronunciation, that it means that the pronunciation is not important here. So what you really have to pay attention to is that these words are written in the same form. So they look identical, but they are pronounced or not pronounced the same. Like it says right here, no matter how the pronunciation is, but if they are written in the same way with the same spelling, they belong to the category of homographs. An example of homograph, it is in the case having a different pronunciation like lead and lead, or read and read. Present tense is read, past tense is read. Here, the first word refers to an act of going ahead and showing the way. This is lead. Whereas the second, led, refers to the metal. The pair of words belong to examples like this. Well and well. In this case, this particular case, these words share pronunciation and also spelling. It's classified as a homograph, but also it's a homonym word. Like I said, homonyms are like the big picture, whereas homographs and homophones are subcategories. Well, the first one is an adverb where you done the things in a satisfactory way, in a satisfactory manner. And the other one is the drill hole where people dig in order to get some water. Bow and bow. Bow and bow. In this case, the pronunciation is different, but the spelling is the same. And everything depends on the meaning, and you can read it right here. The same happens with the word present and present. They also share the same part of the speech. They are both nouns, but the meaning is totally different from one from the other. The current time is the present, past, present, and future. And the other one is a gift. You can say, I'm gonna give you a birthday gift or a birthday present. And tear and tear, tear. And you see the differences between one and the other. And if you have doubts, you can find more definitions online. Then in your book you have some exercise to complete. But first, I want to share another video for you so you can have another explanation or a different explanation. And here we go. Homonyms, homophones, and homographs.
And homographs. Homophones are words that have the same sound but have different meanings. For example, male and male. What other words can you think of that have the same sound but different meanings? Here are some more homophones. Berry and berry, two and two, night and night, bee and bee. Each of these words have the same sound or pronunciation, but a different meaning. Homographs. Homographs are words that have the same spelling, but different meanings. For example, bow and bow. Can you think of any more words that are spelled the same but have different meanings? Here are some more homographs. Wind and wind, live and live, wound and wound, lead and led. Each of these words are spelled the same but have a different meaning. An easy way to remember which is to look at the suffix in each word. Both are of Greek origin, phone meaning sound, homophones sound the same, and graph meaning to write. Homographs are written the same. What about words that are pronounced the same and spelled the same? Words like left, as in the car turns left, and there is one apple left. Left and left are homonyms, words that are both homophones and homographs. Can you think of any more homonyms? That is, words that sound the same and have the same spelling? Here are some examples of homonyms. Letter and letter, right and right, ring and ring, bat and bat. Sometimes the word homonym is used more broadly to refer to any word that is a homophone or a homograph. See how many homophones, homographs, and homonyms you can think of. Make a list.
So you see basically that British guy explained exactly the same things that I have, but with different words and with more examples, or at least more illustrated examples. So then let's move to some more examples. All right, I'm not gonna delay the class reading again the same definitions, but at least you will have them recorded in this video. You have the definition of homonyms, homographs, and homophones once again. Like I said, homonyms is like the huge category where homographs and homophones are fit. So then we have some homophones here. Among all of these examples, you will find either homophones and homographs or homographs. You have the word air and air and their corresponding meanings. And this is the phonetic here. So this is the way that it's pronounced according to the IPA. The IPA is the International Phonic Alphabet. So those symbols, those weird symbols that you find sometimes in your dictionaries or something, they help you to read or to pronounce the words the way they are supposed to. Air and air. The first one is fresh, air. And the other one is the hair, the heir of the throne. It means that is the one who's gonna inherit everything from their parents or their legacy or whatsoever. Is the one that receives the delayed people or dead people, people who has passed away, possessions. Then you have ball and ball. This is the pronunciation here. The first one is the object, the round shaped object that you use to play different sports such as baseball, tennis, soccer, basketball. And the second one is a room for dancing. A room meant for dancing is a ball. Then you have band. Band, the definitions are here. A rock band is like a group of guys who plays some music. And the rubber bands, I mean those elastic bands that you use for different matters. And so there you have more and more homonyms, but I want you to focus on homographs. In homographs, we have 4 different categories of those. The first one and the second one are very alike, but we will read them all. So the first category of homographs is words with the same spelling and pronunciation. You can also classify these homographs as homonyms, because if they share a spelling and pronunciation as well, they are homonyms. But if you want to go into detail, you will say that they are homographs. And also they can also consider homonyms according to this logic. But anyway, so you have the word date as a noun and date as a verb. As a noun, you can find this definition is a kind of fruit or a calendar time. And also is when you go out with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you are in a date or you date someone. So it can be either a noun or a verb. And to determine the age and to go out is considered the action. And like I said, the spelling is identical as the pronunciation is. Then fast and fast. Fast like in Fast and Furious movie title, that it means quick. And also fast when you don't eat food. So you are in fast or you fast. As a verb is you fast, she fasts, they fast. That's why the word breakfast come. So when you're not eating, when you're refraining yourself from food, you fast. And the way that you break your fast is with your breakfast, the first meal in the day. So then there are other homographs that change with the stress word. The stresses are different. So the stress is where the strongest tone of voice is heard. The low pitch or the high pitch. You have the word desert and the word dessert. Desert, so the stress is here. As you can see, according to the IPA dictionary, this is the stress. This apostrophe here is the stress. Desert, dessert, desert, desert. When you say desert, they're talking about the dry place, like the Mojave Desert in Nevada. And the action of leaving is abandon. Abandon or leaving behind is desert. He deserted from the army or the navy. Also, we have the word address, 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 and address. Address is the place where you live, and address is when you give a speech. For example, every time that I teach you, I'm addressing you. And my address is 25 North Avenue. So I don't really know my address in English, but in the United States, they mention the streets, the number of the streets, the 25th First Avenue, the main avenue, Maple Street, number 8 or something. Then in letter C, you have homographs with different pronunciation and meaning, but the same spelling. With different pronunciation, but the spelling is the same, and the meaning is kind of different. So I say kind of because here we have the same verb, but one is in present and the other one is in the past tense. When you said this verb in the present tense, you pronounce it read, read. When it's in past tense, you say read. I read every day. I read a book last night. Do as verb is do. As a musical note is the, do, the. This symbol right here is called schwa. It is a vowel sound that for sure we don't have it in Spanish. That's why it's kind of unfamiliar to us, and it represents some trouble every time that we want to pronounce, because like I said, in Spanish does not exist. And it's pronounced like the, and the verb do. I do it because I want it. Then you have the verb pronouns. Well, this verb is lead. As a noun is pronounced led. Lead, led. And this word right here is, as a musical instrument, is pronounced bass. He plays the bass. Is an instrument like is a guitar fashioned, but it only has 4 strings. Guitars have 4, no, well, they actually have 7 or 6 strings, 6 and 7. And the bass guitar has only 4, or some basses got 5 strings. And also the same word got another pronunciation, but it's not quite the same word. It's bass, 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 bass. And when I say bass, it's not a musical instrument anymore. So I'm talking about something totally different. It's a type of fish. People say that this is a very tasty fish. So and then in letter D, 2 words are homographs if they are spelled the same way but different in meaning. And you have the examples right there. The word content means happy or satisfied. All that is contained is inside something. Minute. What is a minute? The 6th of an hour. So extremely small. When something is extremely small, is minute. 60 seconds or 1 is a minute. Another minute is every time that you have a meeting. When you have a meeting, you record all the minutes that you had during the meeting. So in those minutes, I like the notes, the most important points that you discussed in your meeting. And tier. And you have more examples here, but this time about homophones. I'm not gonna read them. I'm just gonna show them so you can get some screenshots or you can pause this recording. So you will have an idea what I'm saying or talking. I have 15, 16 of those. Axe, add, face, feet, find, flare, flee, flew, flower and flower, rain, and rain. Race and race. Read, rest. Hour, idle, in. And you can find more. So now let's move to the book exercises and we're gonna finish the class with that. On page 51 in your books. Read each sentence and choose the correct homophone. You need the missing piece to complete the puzzle. Which piece is it? It's this one. Jane was feeling too upset. This is your best work of art so far. It's your, not your, it's your. It makes no difference whether we stay or go. It's this weather, not this one. It's this. It's, contraction of verb be, such a beautiful day. I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. Not hear you, but hear you. The room looked very plain before we decorated. Then you have to read the 2 definitions and find the correct homophone. What word means talk to someone for the first time and beef and poultry? Talk to someone the first time, meet, M-E-E-T. And beef and poultry is M-E-A-T. M-double-E-T, M-E-A-T. They're spelled differently, but they have the same pronunciation. The beginning of the day and manifestation of sorrow for someone's death. Morning and morning. Morning, 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 morning. The beginning of the day is morning, like the way you spell it. And the difference in manifestation of sorrow of someone's death is mourning, but is M-O-U-R. And here is only M-O-R. 60 minutes and belong to us, hour with an H, and hour without TH. A self-luminous heavenly body, song, S-O-N. And a male offspring is a son. So I made a mistake. I will take it back. This one right here is S-U-N. Here is S-O-N. And they are pronouns son, 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 the son, and your son. Past tense of blow is blue. And the color is blue. But this blue is B-L-E-W. And here the color B-L-U-E. Then you have to complete by yourself exercise number 3. Identify the homographs in each sentence that correspond to the meaning in parentheses. The one that means very small. The minute snowflakes melted in less than a minute. Very small is this one. This minute here means 60 seconds. After a grave illness, the man died and was buried in a grave. Grave, grave. Which one means serious? This one. After a serious illness, the man died and was buried in a grave. This one, the plural of left. She should rake the leaves before she leaves. She raked the leaves before she leaves. The plural of left is leaves. The truth lies hidden beneath a heap of lies. To be found or located. The truth lies, it means can be found beneath a heap of lies. In an attempt to avoid the cat, the dove dove into its nest. So the dove that you have to find here is to descend through the air. To descend through the air is this one. This dove right here is the bird. The bird that is called dove. And then I hope the judges make a fair decision at the science fair next week. Which fair means exposition. That is so clear. The science exposition. And finally, exercise number 4, write 2 sentences in which you use different meanings for the homographs here. Days, light, wind, match, and there. So we're gonna stop the class here. I hope that you finish the exercise by yourself and you can use your book properly. Thank you very much.